You don't need a killer dragon for me. Ooh, I don't need no fairy tale.
Okay, so last we left off, you guys had finished up our prologue adventure. You were level 1, you participated in a festival, you won sort of, you got a torch, you were tasked with taking this torch back to its resting place where it's supposed to recharge throughout the year. Um, Thinking nothing of this, you followed along happily and left the city, striking out adventure. Um, you traveled west. You went to Meadowfen, a way station on the primary road out of the country to the west, and then you cut south. All the while, you were following your new Gerbine friend Grigri. Um, you followed the swamp curve to the southwest down to Grigri's home, where he showed you the large meteor that struck the Earth to bring some star metal and some foreign rock and soil from outside. Then, under the cover of darkness, because you're still being brilliant, you ventured into the swamplands and found yourselves outside of an abandoned mine where supposedly this torch was supposed to be kept. Only then did you finally decide to question your errand, that perhaps venturing into the swamp under the cover of darkness was an odd choice. Perhaps, wait, do we really get rid of the torch every year? No, we don't do that. Wait. This seems weird. All of these things aren't adding up. Well, better go in anyway. So you go inside. You luckily navigate your way around all of the monsters inside the mine. Place the torch inside the sconce and
Altus be praised.
Are granted an auditory message from Pontus, the mayor, who tells you some things that you may or may not remember. One of the things, though, is that he apologizes profusely for some sort of tragedy, but is not clear about what goes on. You head outside, and you see what looks like a blazing inferno shining against the night sky, far to the northeast, the direction of your home. But it disappears all too quickly in a confusing and mysterious manner. Based on the vision based on the message, you get it in your head that something horrible has happened and you should not return to the Reach, which was part of the message. And you make your way back around to the home. You grab some silver, or you grab some star metal rather, and then you head back up to Meadowfen. All the while, you see no fires. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. You get to Meadowfen, one thing at Grigori's home. Grigori is gone. A smith Gerbine named Stefan is living in his home and claims to be the only smith that there has ever been in this town, and all of the nearby Gerbine corroborate that story. Very odd. You head back to Meadowfen, and something similar happens, that the mayor, Pontus, doesn't seem to exist. He's been replaced, or something, or maybe he never did exist, and you've been lied to all your lives. But either way, he's gone. This squicks you out. You start to feel weird. Ugla pulls out the torch, trying to figure out if something goes wrong, and collapses to the ground, awakening minutes later with blistered hands and bleeding ears. He's had a vision of some kind, and this further weirds everyone out. You decide to spend the year outside of the Reach as requested by Pontus. The alchemist, Lycus, decides to settle down here in Meadowfen for the time being. He thinks he'll set up shop and maybe make some money. For a time, the rest of you stick around, but Genra, pining for home, decides that she's going back to the Reach. Her family's there. None of the rest of you have parents, children, siblings in the town, but she does. She can't, be apart from them for no reason for so long. So she goes back. Alternatively, Ugla and Resic decide that they need to get further away and follow a traveler outside of the city headed west to leave the kingdom entirely beyond the Bladed Hills, which marks the border to the Humblewood. Um, we pick up approximately 1 year since we left off, 3 days before the anniversary of the festival and the start of this year's festival period. Uh, Lycus has been here successfully without major issue for the entire time. Resic and Ugla show up late in the night, 4 days previous to the festival, and Genra comes happily waddling into the way station in the late morning, right around the time the tired Resic and Ugla are awakening from their journey. Lycus, for the ease of plot, you had gone to bed early that night. You didn't know that they were there, so you haven't spoken to them yet either. You all awaken and meet downstairs for the first time in a year, 8 months ish, at breakfast. Go.
Oh my god. Is it all of you?
What?
You're alive?
What?
Oh my goodness.
You're alive. Oh,
You're
well,
alive.
it's
I didn't know if
what?
you would be alive or dead or lost or poof. I have no clue what I expected at all, but you're here. I'm so happy to see you. How have you been?
Oh, I've been quite well. I've been setting up a forge here in town. Been doing good work. When did you return from? You said you were going out to the Reach. I had my suspicions then, but I wasn't sure what to think about what you're about to do. Are you all right?
Perhaps we should gather with the others. Resic, Ugla, would you like to come over?
I haven't seen the.
They're right over there.
Is that them over there?
Yes, they're right over there.
That's really them over there.
Let's walk over to the
All right,
table.
fine. I'll pick up
let's
my
talk to
oatmeal
them.
and we'll head on
Yes.
over.
Lycus and Genra, make a perception check.
That's not that great. I am less sad.
What's perception?
How do I see? Genra, I mean, it's been 8 months, so it's not terribly surprising that they look different. Like, you've all been training and getting better at your things, but they look more different than you would expect. Ugla is more stout. He maybe more weathered looking. Resic, contrarily, maybe even less stout, maybe more lean, maybe a little more thin to the face, a little more gleam to the eye, a little bit more mean looking.
I don't know how to say this without sounding judgmental, so just bear with me, but you two don't look quite the same as the last time I remember seeing you. You look different. What have you been doing all this time?
You look suspiciously similar to how we left you. Have you not been preparing?
Preparing for what?
To return to the Reach?
I would have to agree.
I think I need to make a formal announcement. I guess the time has come. About 6 months into our quest into whatever we were doing, I guess finding isolation during a period in which we were supposed to stay away from Winnowing Reach, I grew lonely and depressed, and well, my entire family and well-being was here in Winnowing Reach, and I had to come back to see them. I couldn't stay away, and everybody seemed so aloof when we spoke about the fire that we saw and Pontus, and there was just, I don't know, I felt an urge inside of myself to return, and I did. I returned.
You definitely could have stayed with myself and Rezik or with Lycus, you always have a home with any of us, but, you know, adopted family, real family, not quite the same thing. I understand.
I mean, that's quite nice of you. It just, we were all thrown together so suddenly, and I mean, I known of you all before this, but it wasn't like, we weren't really close. We had just gone through this strange happening together. I don't know, it just left me feeling unsettled, and I had to really do some introspection, and that's where I landed. So that's all I have to say.
Was your family okay?
They are absolutely lovely. I mean, my sister was engaged or about to be engaged before we left, and she had a ceremony. I played at it with the band. I mean, it was a lovely time, and
My
things have
temple
been
is
great.
fine.
I mean, everything is about the same as before we left.
Mayor
Except-
Pontus is fine.
Well, he doesn't exist. In fact, I've not spoken his name in a very long time, okay? People don't know who he is. I feel like I'm a little bit crazy whenever I speak to anybody about him, so I just stopped speaking about him. I stopped asking questions, but I internally have just decided that I've been brainwashed or crazy or made the whole thing up. But obviously, we all feel the same way. We all remember the things that we do, so I don't really know what to think of it at all.
I mean, you're still young, so I suppose he'd been there since you were born, but I knew the guy for 30 years. And then we come out to Meadowfin that night and nobody knows who he is, and you go back to the Reach and nobody knows who he is. That's a little too much. So everything seemed as it was except for him?
Yes. There are strange vibes around the city, but I don't feel like anybody else notices them, so I do question my own sanity, I don't really know if I'm just feeling that way because of the situation that we had happen to us, or if it's actually something aloof in the city.
What do you mean?
Have to say, you seem very much like the Ginra, the exact same Ginra that we saw 8 months ago. You've changed in almost no perceptible ways. How do we know it's really you, and you weren't just killed and replaced by some sort of copy at that moment? Sent back here a year later to derail our plan.
Well, I can assure you that I'm not. I mean, I was there in that mining shaft with you. I heard the message from Pontus. I don't know. I mean, you could be right.
What was?
Clone? I don't know.
I highly doubt that. That seems very far fetched. I've honestly never heard of such a thing. Why would you make those accusations?
With your amazing perception, you can tell she's a slime. Just
I break out.
Do I
of my
notice
shell.
anything out of the ordinary?
she looks like herself, a little older. The liar she played, seems new. Maybe she got herself a better one.
Oh, so I do notice that she's aged slightly.
Yeah.
I guess she's young enough as to where those years might be a little more impactful.
She's still on the tail end of goose puberty.
Right. So I look her over real hard, and I'm like, okay, maybe it is you.
Well, I'm glad you approve of me. Rezik, do you have anything to add to this conversation? I feel like I've just been interrogated.
You did something shady out of love for family, but...
Is it really shady? Perhaps all of you were fools for not going back.
Well, I mean, I honestly didn't expect to come back and you be back here, to be perfectly honest.
Fair enough.
But whenever you said that there were strange happenings, that you felt like it was kind of driving, like you felt a little insane for noticing it and nobody else did. Could you elaborate? So that way maybe we're not walking into this blindly.
You know, it's well. First of all, you've heard about the other mayor. I mean, the Marpak. I don't even recall his name. I can't for the life of me remember his name. I can
How
only see
convenient.
Pontus. Anyway, it's just little moments here and there, and I can't quite put my tongue on what it is, but it's like these little, like at my sister's wedding, I was sitting there and, there's something about it felt off. I felt these little moments here and there, and I don't really know what feels off. I just know that it feels off. I don't trust it, to be quite frank. I have no idea what it is, but I know that, given the information that we have, given our lives that we have to look back on, there's obviously something happening here that we can't explain and we need to figure out. And I think bringing us all back together here a year later, this is our opportunity. What say you?
Oh, yeah. I'm taking that torch right back into the middle of town when the games start, and we're going to see what happens.
Okay.
I'm hoping it's going to shatter whatever illusion has swept over the land. Make people remember and just take things back the way they were.
I do think we should take this in strides and not bum rush the whole place and accuse everybody and try to stream out our beliefs, because that will drive people away. I think we need to be more cautious. I don't know if we can trust the new mayor.
No, I'm going to bring the torch in, like I'm supposed to. Bring it back for the start of the games, and we'll just see what happens, right?
I mean, we shall see. Perhaps there will be another torch. I don't even know. What if there's two torch bearers? One that's bringing it in and one that's taking it out? And...
I'm sure we'd just fight to the death. It'd be fine.
Yeah, we can take care of it. Don't worry about that. We'll handle it.
The applewood oatmeal is really good.
What is that? What with oatmeal?
Applewood oatmeal?
That does sound quite delicious.
If you say so.
Did you ever find that Gregory, by the way?
Wish we had.
Oh, no, I
No.
never went searching for him. I mostly settled down here. I suppose I probably should have done that while I was...
Somebody probably should have gone south or sent somebody something.
I should have done something, but...
I did, among other things. I mean, I've been practicing my lyre and playing a lot, but I have also been studying up a little bit, and I do speak some Jabin now. So I think I've put myself in quite a position to reach out to our friends in the south and perhaps find some answers.
Well, we'll do that. We'll do that as soon as we return with the torch, I suppose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I do have some gifts for everyone.
Gifts?
Gifts,
for
you
me?
say?
Yes. Oh well, they're all in the forge. So after breakfast, we'll all head over there. And we can start. We can continue.
Oh.
Those type of gifts. Interesting. I'm excited to see what you have.
Oh.
I haven't been lazing about this whole time. At least
I have gifts for y'all as well. How much gold did you say he had?
24, I think.
I've been able to accumulate 24 gold to prepare in the last year. I'd like to split it up amongst all of us so that we can use it as equitably as we can. That's 6 for each.
Thank you.
The three of you get 6 gold apiece.
I suppose that's a generous gift. So thank you very much.
He pulls it out uncomfortably, but smiles as he gives it each.
A nearby table with a kind of bear-looking traveler. Oh, what about my share there, master?
No, this is for a special mission, my friend.
Hey,
I'm on a special mission.
I
Hey,
have
buddy.
a gift
Hey,
for you,
what-
my friend. I need you to get me a wet.
You broke up, James.
I have a friend for you. I have a gift for you, a wet barrel.
Wet barrel. All right. He goes tottering off.
We should
That'll keep him busy for a while. Old man Jenkins is such a jokester around.
Ah, yes.
Hey, you
I
might
was
want
going
to
to
mind his
recruit him
business.
as a scout.
I'm not sure I'd be quite fit for that, but
Oh, yes. No one would suspect him.
No one suspects old man Jenkins. Don't you do it. I see you looking at me like you're, yep, okay, all right. Well,
you said don't.
I
and
said
that
don't,
means
but
do.
that
Oh.
means do. Here's, okay, all right. You
Don't
did- all
means
right.
love.
You made it. Good job. Okay, so you have your breakfast, you reconcile. Tomorrow, or no, 2 days from now is the festival. Are there any things you're planning to do between now and then?
We were going to go to Lycus's house and get some
Oh,
presents.
right, your gifts. Yes. So you
Yes.
all head off after breakfast. You head over to Lycus's forge. It looks, Rezik, since you've been here before, it looks like he's expanded the multi-purpose building to include space for this forge. What you got?
Yes, over here, just it's a relatively small little quaint forge for me to work in. But if I can get your attention over here for just a moment, he goes over to a particular cupboard, which is about as tall as he is, and opens it up. It's the type of cupboard where you'd normally store like a large piece of armor. It's a little bit blackened from heat from the forge, but otherwise, it seems to be made of some sort of hardwood, pressed hardwood to make sure that it's not going to burn too well. And he pulls out a sword and a scabbard, and looks over to Ugla.
For me?
Yes, for you.
Wow.
It-
You were able to work some incredible art with our star.
Well, I tried my best with kind of some of the things that you described to me before you left, along the flat of the blade. But in particular, the metal, it was very difficult to work with. But it came from the Jabin village that we went to about a year ago.
Oh, yeah. I gave you my portion.
Yes, you did, and I wanted to return it to you with some love and care and effort put into it, and hopefully this will serve you well as we're going back, and heck, even if it turns out that this whole thing is some sort of crazy dream we're all going through, you'll have something you can smite those dastardly slimes with, and not be worried about it melting.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
I asked around the city we were in, Natural Order, for days and days and days, visited every forge and blacksmith, and no one had ever heard of this kind of. It's truly special.
Oh,
In fact, we might be able to use it to win the slime games this year.
yes, you could.
Oh, you're going
If
to.
you want to, I set up a little doll in the back. It's just a little scarecrow that you can practice with the blade on. I have a whetstone here for you to sharpen it to, if that's something you want to do in the next day or so.
Very cool. Absolutely. I can't wait to return my sword to my order. It's got me through a lot of years.
Oh, and then for Resic, he pulls out a quiver with arrows. About 10 arrows worth of star metal that I could turn into some arrows fletched about how you had yours last time. They're little. I couldn't quite work the sides of the arrowheads to give it anything in particular, but hopefully the little wind motifs are worth something for you. Little swirls of. Yes, you're welcome.
They're fancy.
And then he pulls out another quiver and looks over to Genra, and then made a second set for you as well. They're a little bit. They're a little bit. They are a little bit easier on the draw, and they'll have slightly less impact, but should be serviceable nonetheless for you.
Well, thank you. I'm just flattered that you thought of all of us.
Well, I mean, it's honestly, I hadn't really done a whole lot up until this point where we went to the slime games and then left Winnowing Reach, and it seemed right to actually, make something of.
You've made quite a lot of yourself. This is a very impressive shop.
Well, thank you.
This whole star thing, was that a total just ruse? Was that fake? This is real star?
Well, it's
Raw?
yes, it fell from the stars.
It cut through slimes like nothing I'd ever seen.
But we were sent here to well, we weren't sent here, but we were sent to get the star fragments and return them, and I was thinking about that too, and
I have a few ball bearings of star metal right over here that I worked from from some of the slag from when I was forging things. If that's worth anything.
999 of them, in fact.
I wonder if we could use them to throw around and check for traps.
Perhaps.
we could just
Star
stand a little
traps.
far away from the new mayor and flick the pieces at him.
So that perception check was me not necessarily sure whether or not Resic or Ugla was correct on his perception of whether or not it was really
Genra.
Yeah. And now I'm skeptical, I guess.
I guess for the amount of time we spent together, you noticed. I guess everybody probably noticed how intently I was looking at it. But then it broke, and I plainly accepted it.
Resic, while you're following to the forge, you take a good long look at her, and she seems the same. It looks perfect. Looks perfectly normal.
I don't know what's wrong with you guys. I haven't changed. I've aged a little bit, but not even that much. You all look completely different. I should be asking you if you're who you say you are.
What is it? Is it the smudge of ash on the side of my fur over here? Or what
you are a saint.
Smudge of ash.
And you are exempt from these skeptical notions in which I speak. But these two are very suspect, and I don't know what their game is. And Resic is borderline suspect, borderline, out of harm's way. But Ugla, I don't know about that one. He's kind of rude, I guess. And
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to be rude. I just had a lot.
Look! All of you, just stop. Let me get some steins out here and put some wine in them. He pulls out a big old jug and pops off one of the corks and pours it.
We're drinking wine.
Day drinking, camaraderie.
Day drinking.
Well, we have one day to kill before we have to leave. If we want to get there one day early.
Or we could stay here and drink until, we stumble out. And
I can't go back early. We were told very specifically to not enter until exactly 1 year.
Yeah, well, one of you already messed that up, so what does
maybe you can go in early and scout it out. That makes sense.
I'm gonna go in early anyway because I live there, so there's no
Ugla,
scouting out needed.
do you trust her to scout things out?
Yeah, she's the only one of us that's been in there. I mean, if there's something that was going to get to her, it already got.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
But she seemed the same to me, and she was super offended that I was apprehensive. So
offended. I should be. You interrogated me despite us having some sort of acquaintance before this. I mean, you have no reason to suspect me. I'm not done anything to harm you.
You
I
understand,
have
I've spent the last 8 months wanting to return to the Reach,
Then you
but
should
not being able to because of that message.
Because you're afraid of it, perhaps you should just own up to it and face your fears.
I mean, I've got scars on my brain and on my hand. He holds up his
Yeah, look, we
string,
should just face our fears.
and you can see that part of him is like permanently burnt where the torch was.
I mean, we can assume it was some sort of whimsical torch. I don't think torches generally give voicemails, but just, I don't know.
There's
What's a
nothing normal about that
voicemail?
night. I've just been reliving it every day since then.
It's
I
a
couldn't return
message
if I
that
wanted
we
to.
send to each other. They're typically inscribed, but in this case, we had this magical Ashen speak to us. So
Well,
that's
she's right. It was as if you sent a voice in
it's
the
like
mail.
a sending stone. Oh, I understand now.
there you go. Yes.
Oh,
Well?
so you mentioned a smudge of ash on your fur, Lycus? Is that real ash or is that permanent ash?
Just a smudge from this morning. I was just cleaning things up before I went in for breakfast, and
And it wipes off and everything's normal?
it's for the most part. I mean, there's kind of like a little bit of a stain there now, but
Hmm.
it'll come out in a couple of days of bathing.
So it's not like this?
Not
Ugla raises a hand on his. I'm assuming you're right-handed.
He's right-handed, sure.
Okay. Raises his right hand, and in the books, all the bird folk are 3-fingered plus a thumb, so he doesn't have a pinky. But his furthest or the weakest finger on his right hand is darkish. The skin it looks as if it's been smudged. It looks like as if he's been digging around in a fire with only that finger.
I mean, I've burned myself before, but is that old? Is that new?
I mean, I've burnt myself many times. It never stayed. Yeah, that was it 3-4 days when we first returned to Meadowfen, and I held the torch again and got that vision, which has been keeping me up at night forever. My finger never went back. It never healed. It just stayed black. The rest of my hand healed, but that finger just stayed black.
Perhaps you've been mocked by something.
By a really hot torch.
Well, yes, obviously that one, but something deeper and more thought-provoking.
Yeah, a really hot magical torch, yeah.
Oh, actually, while we're thinking about it, can I show you something? If any of you maybe know what it is, and he pulls off his tunic, and he pulls off his tunic, and in his fur there is a triangle that is pointing downwards down his back, just towards the ground. And it seems to be etched with a little bit of scar tissue underneath.
Yes. The downvote.
Yes, the downvote.
That is quite strange. When did you get this?
Oh, I've had it for most of my life. I just didn't know what it is.
A scar?
It's impressive looking scar, if nothing else. But he pulls his tunic back on, and pulls it down. Oh, I don't have no idea. Maybe it's something. Maybe it's not. Who knows?
Oh,
Strange birthmark.
we lost him.
Maybe from your birthing? Did your parents talk to you about it?
Never knew.
Oh, yeah, maybe something that happened to you before you could form memories.
Maybe.
This is odd. Does anybody else want to share anything that they have discovered about themselves, found?
I grew an extra toenail too.
Wow. Thank you for that generous contribution to
Do you want to see it?
our sharing moment.
I'll show you. It's okay. You don't have to be shy.
I don't want to see it.
I feel like it's sharper than the other ones. It's my grappling nail.
Are they like talons?
Talents, yeah.
Yeah, they're talents.
Okay. Ugh.
Oh. Mm.
Like a talon growing out of a talon. To the
Yeah,
side.
just off the top. Yeah, I stubbed my foot the other like months ago, and it just grew out the top.
Ugh.
It's not like he has an extra one. It's just like he killed one, but it didn't fall off, so it's growing over it.
Right.
Overgrown
Yeah.
talon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like we picked up a lot of new abilities and toenails that are going to really help us on our quest.
Yes, I guess we could say that.
Do you want a glove for your burnt hand? Just, I mean, it kind of does stand out a little bit. Or are you wearing it as like a mark of honor? Because we can talk to the leather worker just down the hall.
I don't know. I haven't really thought too much of it.
I don't think that we should be worried about the opinions of others where we're going.
Yeah, we'll blend into the crowd. You know how very dense the crowd is at these ceremonies. I don't think we'll have to worry much about anybody noticing your torched finger.
That's fair. I mean, and if worse comes to worse, yeah, you accidentally burned it when you were cooking something over a fire a couple of nights ago.
Exactly.
Or I was, building a fire last night and haven't washed properly.
Yeah, there's that too. But anyway, yes, I suppose.
It feels normal though. Total, full sensation, full function. Can stab things with it or gently caress things, and he just puts his hand down Lycus's face, caress things as gently as.
Oh, could you scratch this one spot here on my neck? My nails aren't very good for scratching right in.
Yeah, sure
Getting right in
thing.
there. Yes, please.
Goes for it. Very sharp talons.
Ah, yes. Ow, 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 oh, ooh, ow.
Well, this has taken a strange turn. I do think that we should get a move on. I'm going to go back into the city. I guess you three are going to stay here, I assume?
I will be there at 12. Wait, what kind of clocks do we have here? Is it just 24-hour clocks like every?
Sure.
Okay.
High moon.
Yeah.
I'll be there
Sundial?
at 12:01 a.m. on the day of the games with the torch.
You got water clocks and sun and moon times.
All right. Well, Genra, could I trouble you to make some arrangements for us for staying?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
it'll be
yes,
kinda late.
Of course.
That'd be-
You three could stay with me. I mean, we're over on the swampy lake area, but it's totally fine. There's plenty of space for you. You can meet my sister and her husband. He's a swan. I'll probably play some music. Maybe have the band over. I don't know. It would be lovely if you would stay there, though.
That would be an honor.
I would enjoy that very much. Thank you.
Of course.
We don't want to impose, though. I mean, although I bet the inn's probably filled up pretty tight with the games going on.
Any more?
Well, we could always stay at the temple or the shrine.
Yes, you could stay at your temple or shrine, but I guarantee it won't be as lovely of a stay as the accommodations I can give you. So I think that it would be in your best interest to stay with my gaggle.
I'll be honest, I'm kind of afraid of what I'm going to discover when I walk in the temple. I get the feeling it's going to be a lot more of the torchy, mayory stuff. Probably best if we stay with you, and then maybe I check out the temple the next day. If
you do
things haven't gotten crazy yet.
Most comfortable. I don't want to impose you, but it's neither here nor there. I think you'll find that things have not changed that much at all. So
I hope so. In the back of his head, he's thinking, has the last year just been a ruse? What the fuck?
I know.
All right. We got 2 days to kill.
So where did you land? Are you killing time here, or are you going back to the Reach?
I'm not entering the Reach until 12:01 a.m. on the day that we were supposed to.
Okay.
Genra will be returning.
All right. So Genra's going home. The other 3 of you are staying in Meadowfen.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. So unless there's any particular activities, you will pass the next 36 or so hours in, pleasant, chilling time.
I actually wanted to run something by Ugla while we're eating together, I guess.
Sure.
That evening. And just be like, so Ugla, it's been mulling over in my head since Genra actually returned. My thoughts are that maybe the warning was for the torch, not necessarily us as individuals. And so, because nothing, it doesn't make sense for nothing to have happened. I came here expecting the worst.
Yeah, that doesn't quite add up in my head either. I mean, with the whole Stefan and Grigori thing, and then what's it, Mayor Pontus and new mayor. I mean, it's just, I don't know. None of it really sits right with me. But I mean, she seems like she is who she is, and all I've thought about past year has been taking this torch back like I was told. So, maybe it was an imposition on just the torch, but I'm glad we didn't take any chances either way. Who knows? Maybe if, where could we have kept it safe? Or it's the past.
Well, it could be on the bearer as well, but that's something I've been thinking about, and maybe I actually go there early and scout out prior to you entering.
Sure. I mean, you can be pretty stealthy, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd say since we're coming in late at night, maybe try and slip in past any guards that are posted, take a look around, see if anything's out of the ordinary, and slip back out, maybe 15, 30 minutes till showtime. And, let me know if there's anything afoot.
Okay. Do you have any areas that do you think that we should check out?
Oh, yeah. We'll make sure there's... I'll ask around here a bit to see if I can get any clues, too. But I guess we should make sure that the games are actually happening, because it'd be kind of funny and weird if they weren't. Just going to ask around. I'm going to ask around that night and see if there's any travelers on their way for the game, or anybody that's headed to Winnowing Reach for the games.
Okay. Once I slip in, if I see, well, I guess I don't know what the mayor looks like, so.
We know what species he is.
He's a Malbec,
yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And see if you just look for a really fancily dressed Malbec, probably living in the mayor's office.
Then something still rings in my head about the tenders around the fire.
Mapak.
Mm-hmm. I was waiting. Oh, yes. Fancily dressed wine.
It's got one of those little, glasses, tokens, or identifiers, or charms.
Yes.
All right, so, yeah, Ugla ask around and just check to see if there's any travelers who are headed to the games. Does he find anything?
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. In that intermittent day, you definitely find at least one person who's headed for the games.
Okay. Yeah, Rezik, so definitely check out the area they're setting the games up for. See if you can spot any traps or contraptions or anything out of the ordinary from a usual setup.
Can do.
So Rezik's headed to town early.
Yes, I leave 4 to 5 hours ahead. I was going to say 4 to 5 ahead of time. Okay. So it gives me plenty of time to search.
And wait for an opportunity to slip past the guards and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you even need to. Maybe it's just open.
It occurs to
Maybe
me
lots
that
of travelers.
Meadowfen is not just right next door to Winnowing Reach. It's a solid 2 days travel.
Yeah.
So you guys aren't just chilling in Meadowfen. You left.
No,
Oh,
we
okay.
left. We're
Yeah.
leaving. Probably not
Yeah,
the
so
day
that
after
conversation
Gunra.
happened the morning of or whatever
Right.
for us to time it right.
Right. Okay. So you are headed out, and then the night before, you guys, most of you are camped out. Genra is still with the party because there was no gap time that I thought there was, and Resic leaves. Goes to bed a little early and leaves a little early. Resic, you arrive in the wee hours of the morning. It is well before midnight. Actually, I guess it's not the morning because you were supposed to, or Ugla wants to be there at 12:01 a.m. So, Resic, you arrive, say 9:30 p.m. well into the night, but not with a couple hours lead on Ugla. Roll stealth if you want to scout about the city.
Ooh.
Nice. You sneak around completely unnoticed. You don't think a single soul has spotted you. It looks almost exactly like last year.
Because then if you get out,
The setup seems identical. The games that they're preparing for seem to be the same. Nothing's really out of place.
Okay. No tenders by fires again.
Make a perception check to go hunting for tenders.
Okay. Oh no.
At one point you get frustrated having found no tenders, and you ask a nearby drunken vagrant where they might be hiding if they were here. And he sends you off around on down these two, behind this one place, down the way, and you turn right. Then you go down these stairs. Then you'll find them. And the directions definitely lead you to the Humblewood McDonald's, where you find the kitchen where they are currently cooking up chicken tenders.
Yes. Those are the only tenders that you should be chasing.
All right. Well, since I didn't really find anything out of the ordinary or any trap set up, I guess I also want to kind of check out the temple or slash.
The Temple to Altus.
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
You make your way there. Because the temple will host or support the homeless. It's pretty much open at all hours. And approaching the doorway, you spot just kind of a low-level acolyte who's sweeping out the floors. Do you do anything?
Can we get a name for the old head of the temple that I would have known and talked to Resic about him?
Your priest?
Yeah.
Banton.
Phantom.
Banton.
So-
Bantun.
Okay.
Okay.
I walk up and I ask, how's his evening? And I was just looking to see if the head priest is there, I guess. Banton?
Yeah. Head priest. Yeah, he's asleep, I'm sure. Who's Banton?
Maybe I was mistaken. I was told that was the head priest here. I apologize. I guess
he's,
whoever told me has been mistaken.
His name's Korik.
Korik. Okay.
Do you want me to wake him?
No. I think it's fine. Do you care if I just actually go to the altar and pray some?
No.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. He
And
heads
so
back
I
to
go.
sleeping.
Yep, and then I go in and have a little look around, I guess. See what I can see and see if there's anything abnormal about, I guess, the place in and of itself compared to the other temples that I've been to.
The temple seems very normal. You prowl about, still being super stealthy. Not knowing any better, you do at one point wander into the head priest's bedroom, which is barely better than the room where all the homeless people sleep. And yeah, there's an older what was the bird I had written down? I forgot already. Let me see. Birds. Bird is the word. Corvum. There's an older Corvum sleeping on a medium kind of cot, featherbed kind of deal.
Okay, and well, after that, I head back. But whenever I go back to talk to them, I leave out that the head priest is somebody different.
Okay, so you inform the party that you prowled about and everything seemed very normal.
Yes.
Okay. So, nighttime approaches. Ugla catches a few hours sleep as he can before waking up in the dead of night to walk into town at 12:01 a.m. or just after high moon.
Yep.
Ugla,
I wait until that moment hits. I feel it.
you wait until it's high moon.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
partner.
Wow.
Determined, I sheathe my sword,
Mm-hmm.
reach into my backpack, and pull out that torch.
Okay. The moment you pull out the torch, you are once again struck with vision. The Reach is on fire. All of it this time. The entire town is a blazing inferno. At first, nothing is audible above the roar. But then, just like last time, that piercing, agonized, crowing scream. Vision fades. No damage. You stand up. That ashy smell, though, that's there.
Are we with him during that? Or...
It sounded like he was going alone.
I mean, you came back, reported all that to me, and I'm like, well, time to go. And got the torch ready, and then you saw it.
Okay, backtracking.
So yeah,
Would anyone
Reza
have
can
gone
like this.
with Ugla? Or-
Yes,
Yeah.
I would have
Yes.
been with them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Genra, are you
Lycus was
there?
with me.
Lycus
Reza
would
just
have gone
returned.
with him. Genrar could have headed into town to
Genra
stay.
went home, so yeah, she's probably at her home, even though she's not listening to us right now. Oh, you are. You're just on mute.
No volume.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, so Genra's at home. The other three of you walked in with Ugla at midnight.
We're about to. I mean, as soon as I pulled it out, I fell over.
Right, so you're walking through the gate. He sheathes his... Well, I mean, I don't know why you'd have your sword. I guess if you were really concerned, you might have your sword out. He sheathes his blade, and you see him pull out the torch, and he's got it maybe here before he falls to a knee. Not quite the full collapse that he did a year prior back in Meadowfen, but he staggers down to one knee before shaking it off just a moment later.
Oh, wow. That was I don't know if it's the anniversary or what, but it's had another terrible vision of the Reach just getting consumed by flames. And do y'all smell anything burning?
I still got it.
Yes.
No.
It's no.
No.
I mean, I think we burnt dinner earlier,
Yeah,
but
nothing
no.
more than
Yeah.
nothing more than maybe some late night cooking fires or something. But
I was gonna say it smells like something we had.
It does smell like burnt chicken nuggets.
I would take those too. Just douse them in barbecue sauce.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's Let's go to where the games are going to be held. Let me put this baby up where it belongs.
Do you need any
Let's
help?
go.
Before
You
you
need help, Scorched?
before you put the torch away, you notice that it has once again grown hot in your hands, but only lukewarm and only like one side of it.
Yeah, my intention is to march with the torch held up high and proud to the center of wherever the games are going to be. Look around and see if the mayor's there. Nothing special's going on, then maybe go find the mayor and say, "Hey, I brought the torch back. Where's the ceremony?"
No.
So you march through town, torch held high.
Yeah.
Literally no reason, like it's not lit or anything. It's like lukewarm on just the one side, and since you're marching in that direction, it is the one side that faces the arena.
So that makes sense.
It does
So
make sense.
the wheels are turning. That's the magic starting to happen.
There
It's
you
going to
go.
light when I
There
get
you
there.
go. You like preparation, like last minute preparations are still going on for the festival, so there are still people awake, wheeling in, last minute supplies, prepping the foods that are supposed to, support the breakfast and all that. You march into the center of the arena. Nothing happens.
And you yell out, "The torch returns!"
Bunch of people look at you like you're a fucking weirdo. A couple of them actually do recognize you. Isn't that the guy who came in third at the barrel contest last year? Yeah, what was his name? Ugla! Hey, Ugla! Woo!
I'm back. The
gonna
torch is returned.
Are you gonna compete this year?
Yeah. I mean, the temple always competes. Where's
Nothing-
the mayor? I need to, I thought there was going to be a ceremony. I
He's
returned with the
asleep,
torch.
dude. You're supposed to be here with the torch tomorrow to light the bonfire.
Oh, tomorrow?
Well, I mean, not like tomorrow. I mean, it is kind of today, tomorrow, but like at first light, that's the bonfire ceremony.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I was just, I don't know what I was thinking. I'll go get some sleep and I'll be back in the morning.
The standing in the center of the arena, the torch that like the side that's warm has shifted some, and given their hint, you note that it is the side pointing directly at the bonfire. The currently unlit bonfire.
Right. So he'll be thinking to himself, "Oh man, I guess the magic doesn't activate until the games are supposed to be starting. So I'll wait till I'm supposed to be here."
Okay.
So yeah, he's like, "Okay, so first dawn, right?"
Yeah, first light, man. That's when the bonfire ceremony goes.
This is my first time. Yeah, I'll be back.
All right.
Thanks, and Antonio?
Close, dude. Tony, though.
Oh, Tony, though.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, old friend.
That's good.
So you march out. He's still fucking.
But yeah. So something in his arm just like gets that muscle memory, and he just holds it proudly all the way back to, he starts walking. He's like, "Where's Ginra's house?"
It's right over there. And she points towards it.
Oh, Ginra, thank you. Were you waiting for us?
Yeah, I was wandering around and, well, I guess I ended up following you guys. I don't know.
Yeah, apparently I'm supposed to light it at first dawn. So, yeah, if you know any roosters.
It's only a few hours away, right?
The message
Yeah.
didn't say anything about a particular
minute.
time. You don't recall there being a be here at this time. It was just on the day of the festival.
Right.
So you guys head off to Genra's home. Is that right?
Yeah, a bit disarmed and embarrassed. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you head that way.
Super relieved that people remember him. And he's not some strange ghost.
See, I told you that it hadn't changed. I mean, people remembered me. You thought they wouldn't just, forget about you?
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to go visit with
Did you
back
forget people?
back them tomorrow.
Banton.
You forgot who they were.
What's his name?
Banton.
Bantam?
Bagel.
Banton. Banton. I've known him for 42 years. But, you know.
The length of time you've known him gets more and more every time we mention him.
No, okay. So the dude's probably in his 50s. I guess 20-something years.
There you
My
go.
apologies.
Hey, Ukla, I think you should forgo that. I checked it out, but it's nothing off, but
You already went to the temple?
yeah.
And Banton wasn't there?
Nope.
Did he die? He was very old.
I didn't. I talked to one of the priests there, and he didn't seem to know the name. I played it off, but it's one of those odd things. It's everything else seemed in order. I didn't see anything odd there. I just
Well,
not the same guy.
maybe he's hanging out with Pontus and Grigory, and I'm surprised you guys aren't with them all too, because I'm going fucking bonkers. Just gotta light this torch and everything. Maybe things will all just, I don't know how to snap, go right back to normal.
Indeed,
He takes his talons and tries to like be right back to
Clack
normal.
clack.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys head over to House of Genra. Yes. It is a largish home, but still overly full. The gaggle is rich with children, and the freshly married couple is still there for a little while. They're planning on heading into the Alderheart city for their honeymoon, but that's they're waiting till summer. So the house is a little crowded. There are some 9 goslings, somewhat at least 6 adult geese, the one swan husband, of course, and 6 elderly geese as well. It is a packed building.
Is it on the ground or is it in the tree?
No, they're on the ground.
Okay. I wanted to double check.
No, they most Gallus are ground dwelling. They live the House of Genra is within a tree, but it's at the base of a tree. They've built into the trunk for a variety of these rooms.
Okay.
It's hella late, so most of them are asleep. The only 2 awake when you walk inside are your grandmother, Genra, and your great aunt. Your great aunt, supposedly, according to family legend, never sleeps and is at least 100 years old. And no one will say otherwise, even though that's obviously impossible.
I do need to tell you to be a little bit quiet. I do believe everybody's asleep. Nana looks like she might be awake. And then my great aunt, Margaret, she is definitely probably awake. I don't know when she actually sleeps, but she's quite old, so I don't tend to question her. She can do as she pleases. So, yes. Just find a space and make yourself comfortable.
One of the
She's a little bit of a night goose, eh?
Yes, she would not ever be described as a night owl. So yes, a night.
I've never
goose.
heard that term.
All owls are night owls, so that's just owl here.
Yes, exactly.
Who are we talking about again?
I agree. Who? So Nana looks up from her tea as you walk in and kind of starts to wave, and then she sees this troop of burly men and a fox clomping, like following you inside. There, and she's like, Genra, I didn't know
She,
you were
like,
that kind
writhes.
of girl.
Nana, please. These are my friends, and they're going to spend the night with us because they're typically out of town. So that's the only reason why. Please don't assume things, okay? I'm not that kind, okay?
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Oh,
Oh no.
a fox is making my acquaintance. Oh, my stars, my good lord and vapors. Oh,
I nudge
Margaret,
Linus.
Margaret,
Don't make her blush.
Margaret, look at this. There's a fox in our home, and we aren't dead yet. Oh. Margaret looks up. Oh. That's her whole interaction.
Huh.
Good.
She's over 100.
Really good, yeah.
One of the big benefits of being in a goose home, whole floor is covered in goose down. Soft as hell.
Very soft. Yeah.
Sounds nice.
There are no parts of the goose home that are not soft.
There you go. Comfort.
Wow.
The only thing I can bring to the table at this point.
This may be the most comfortable place I've ever been.
It is definitely the
someone
most
who's-
comfortable floor that you've ever slept on.
Oh man. As someone who's accustomed to sleeping on dirt floors and wooden cots, this is incredible.
Well, I guess, that is something I don't really think about. But I'm very happy that you're quite comfortable.
Very comfortable. In fact, I could sleep over there in the corner.
Well, make
Oh,
yourself
and-
at home.
Aunt
It does
Margaret,
seem-
you don't have to worry about me. I'm a brother of the Order of Altus.
I think she's already asleep. We should just let her be.
Margaret's
Oh.
head snaps up. Did you say I was asleep?
No, Aunt Margaret.
Missy!
I just,
Missy, I was raising children before you was awake in your dad's eye. I ain't sleeping. I don't sleep. She's loud as fuck. She does not like to be challenged about her lack of sleep legend.
You should respect your Nana, General.
But that's my aunt. I do
And your
respect
aunt,
both of them.
but especially your Nana.
Wait,
Ugla
If I,
immediately gets them
if I need to
confused.
find alternate lodgings, I can.
No. You make yourself at home, be comfortable. I'm sure you'll find peaceful rest here.
Well, thank you.
Hold on. You said a trigger word to Margaret. I have to look at the book.
Oh man, I can only imagine how angry geese get.
Oh no, she's not angry. Yeah, that's not the trigger word. She's angry with you. You challenged her lack of sleep. Ugla said a trigger word. Roll history, Genra. Let's see how much you know about Great Aunt Margaret. None of the rest of you, because it's not relevant here. Just Genra.
You get to have double your proficiency added to your history check.
Why? Oh, you're doing your thing.
Gallus.
Do what?
Because Gallus gets whenever you make an intelligence history check related to the history of your race, culture, community, you're considered proficient in history and add double your proficiency.
You get expertise proficiency. That's dope.
But only for history.
But only
Of
for history
Gallus
about the
related
Gallus.
events.
They're a
That's right.
very
That time.
connected
This
race.
Is the one time.
What? I can't believe that actually came up in the game. Like, holy shit.
Just
That's
organic.
incredible.
You know? Who knows?
So-
Maybe they'll be important later.
14.
So we need to add.
Although is her
no, it doesn't
is
double the
her
result.
aunt a
Oh,
specific important piece of
She is.
Gallus history?
She
Okay.
is. So we add 3 to that for expertise because it was +1 for proficiency and then double the 2, so +3. With a 10, you don't really know a whole lot about Great Aunt Margaret. What you have been told, or what you've heard the stories of, is that at one point in time, she herself was a high priestess of some religion. you can't really get the story out of her. The only thing she really isn't willing to talk about is how she fucking never sleeps, and you better remember it. But after she yells at you about challenging her sleeplessness, she looks over at this fine, upstanding Strigg. She looks up and, now, I used to sleep. Once upon a time, I slept regular. That was before I had to give up my sleeping hours to Titus. Titan? Titus? Titan?
Titus.
Titan?
Think.
I want to say it's Titan. This should ring some bells to Ugla if he remembers his own religion.
Yes.
Yes,
What?
I'm picking it up.
Titan, yeah, Tyton, Titan, otherwise known as the Night Father. This is the god of death in Humblewood.
Oh yeah, that's where Altus lives.
That is where Altus lives.
Okay.
So she says, but then I had to give up my sleeping hours to Titan. Now I don't sleep any longer. You be
died?
careful. Altus and Titan.
You died?
No! Do I look dead?
No, but you said you gave
Don't
up.
insult her.
I mean,
Come on, Ugla. I know she's old, but
Yes. Please.
I mean, to be with Titans to be dead
No, I gave him my sleeping hours.
for long
in
life.
exchange for what?
We don't talk about that anymore. Given all the commotion and her loud yelling, the 18 goslings have awoken. Now you're in for it. You done fucked up.
Oh dear.
They come fucking
everyone-
charging out of these rooms.
Please
They're
remain calm.
newcomers. They look weird. They've got fucking weapons. Who the fuck are these people? They are flipping their shit. And of course, that means that the parents are going to wake up shortly after.
I'm going to have to make another formal announcement.
There are a solid 27 people here in the family room. 18 children, 9 adults, plus the two elderly who were awake. The other elderly sleeping through this. Very solid.
I have something for the children. One second.
Ball bearings. Ball bearings for everyone.
And
Drugs!
and he pulls out he pulls out a ball bearing, indeed, and he's going to pull out a little pin, and he's going to poke the ball to magically tinker with it,
Okay.
so that the ball continually gives out a nonverbal sound of wind, which is perceivable up to 10 feet away.
So it sounds
he's
like
gonna-
the gusting of wind. Yes?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Ashen?
Everyone,
And-
quiet down. Listen to Lycus's magic ball.
The goslings.
Is it-
Hush.
I hold it out towards the goslings, and they all hear this whooshing wind that goes over and over and over again. And this is the sound that the wind speaks when it wants all the children to go to sleep.
I hear it! Oh my god, I hear it! I can hear the wind! They heard literally nothing you said. They were like, you heard, and you said, and this is the sound the wind speak! And they're like, wind talking? Yeah! And they're just like, yeah, I can hear it, haha, you can't hear it, you're too small. Ah! They're fucking...
When they get excited, when they get overly excited, do their words cease to be words and just turn into wah, 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 wah.
Eventually, especially the smallest of the children will start to honk, yes. Eventually, the parents, amused at first, but then remembering it's the middle of the fucking night and they're tired, will start picking up children bodily and just strong-arming them off into their beds.
Uggle will use Intimidate to try and force them to their beds.
Oh god. Okay. Roll Intimidate.
Oh, no.
He's going to say, time for bed, children.
Hold on, don't...
Listen
don't-
to your parents.
So, all right, so you say those words. What do? Do you take any actions?
He glares at the children.
So you put on your mean face and you
Yes.
say time for bed. All right, roll intimidate.
I say, time for bed, children. Listen to your parents, and
Okay.
then look really mean.
And you put on your war face. All right.
Your fame.
Oh my god.
Jesus. Look, these are fucking NPC children. They don't even have their level 1 in commoner yet. They have like a -2 to all skills. I'm gonna roll a d20. We'll see how it goes. You know what? In the large pod of them, they're reasonably brave. Still no match for a 21. The older ones try, and they're like, no, as they back out of the room. The others just flee in terror.
Oh my god.
Then I'll look over to her parents. Mr. and Mrs. Ginner, we're so sorry to have imposed and made such a commotion.
Thank you, sir.
Ugla.
Ugla, but Genra's our daughter's name. We're not Mr. and Mrs. Genra.
Do you
You-
know names?
I don't know her last name. I'm sorry. Ginra folk.
I don't know what their last name is either.
Obviously, it's Goose.
It's Goose, yeah.
Genera
Mr. and
Goose.
Mrs. Goose, sometimes known as Mother Goose and Father Goose.
Right,
so-
obviously.
Mhm.
Duh. Honey, we won't ask what's going on. This seems very odd, but you were always an odd bird.
Yeah.
You don't remember when she went off with us last year?
Right.
To go stow the
yes,
torch?
yes, I
Along with
remember.
this whole thing?
She ran away from home for a few weeks, but she came back,
I didn't
and
run
it was
away.
Oh, the mayor sent her.
right. But then she should have returned a week later, but she was gone for quite some time.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It was a whole thing.
We understand, sir. I mean, children will be children. It's fine. She came back. Her sister was married. It's been a lovely year.
Oh god.
Oh. Yeah, Genra, would your friends like some tea? I'm sure they'd like some tea.
I'm about ready for bed. And
Let's treat
what's
them to
the mayor's
a
name
cup of
again?
tea.
T? Mayor
Yes.
T?
No, his
No.
name's not Mayor T. It's Mr. T.
Mayor Mr. T.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Surely, just a spot of hot chamomile. It will help you send you off to slumber. Just a moment, Genra, go get them some chamomile,
I'm
please.
fetching it. I'm going.
It'll be given your lush flooring, I can't possibly indulge in tea. That would be too much
Pulling
comfort.
out
As soon
feathers and
as
basically
Genra
hair.
leaves the room, the mother waddles, kind and soft-hearted, right up to Ugla, grabs him by the front of his shirt, pulls him down because she's definitely shorter than he is. Sir, if you're here to take my daughter from me again, I swear you will live to regret this.
No, I'm here to return your daughter to you permanently,
Lovely.
the
Yeah.
way things should be.
Now, who wants to see baby pictures?
Oh, I'm so tired, but I do.
She bustles over to a small side chest and pulls out a magical photo album and comes back, and this is Genra, and she was a wee gosling. And these are
I attempt to sneak away while she runs off to go find a place to go to sleep.
sure.
Oh, her beak is still exactly the same.
Stealth.
It is.
God damn it! You're not even stealthy. You can't escape.
Like it's
So
attempts
as
to
he's trying to escape, well, I guess it
knocks
would,
over the base.
would it roll against my perception?
No, you're passive.
He slips on
that.
down feathers.
Okay. I say, hey there, Sly One. Where are you going?
Find some dream time.
Lycus finds
Well, I
himself
mean-
a cozy section of floor.
He has the right idea. We do have to be up before dawn to go light the torch of the games. Grand torch. Not this.
Oh, you're getting up early. Okay, I have just the thing. Don't you worry. We'll get you some of Aunt Margaret's special Up and Atom coffee.
Oh no.
Oh. So I just drink that when I wake up and I'll be ready for action?
Yep, we'll have it hot we'll have it hot over on the counter.
Very cool. Yeah, just 30 minutes before dawn should do the trick.
Okay. Ganmer comes back in with piping hot chamomile, and everyone, has a sip of their tea or doesn't, and drifts off to dreamland. Genra, you do spot the open magical photo album on the nearby coffee table, but your mother just whistles and heads off to bed.
She rolls her eyes.
Um, Chamomile's great. Sleep's coming. Everything seems good. It's a solid, very comfortable night's sleep. Even poor Ugla, who is plagued by nightmares so regularly. It's
Nothing?
It's the most comfortable, most pleasant slumber you've had in the entire year.
So he wakes up not knowing whether that's a good sign or a bad sign.
The four of you awaken to a rather offensive smell. It smells like something's been burnt. Not ashes. It smells like like something's burnt on the stove. And you see Great Aunt Margaret, who Genra so rarely leaves her chair, but is still capable of walking. She's tottering around in the kitchen, puttering about. She comes in and doesn't have just a whole lot of motor function, so just kind of jabs you all with a cane one time. Boop, 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 boop. And then puts the Up and Atom coffee on the coffee table and goes back to her chair.
Thank you, Aunt Margaret. That's very kind of you to serve my friends. I do think this is going to keep them awake for a very long time. But yes, it's a great thing you've done for us. Thank
Oh
you.
yes, I'll take mine to go in my water skin. I gotta get going.
You dump out your water skin and fill it with Up and Atom coffee.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Dehydrate. Yes.
Okay. This is not coffee. It's actually just straight espresso in a glass, and it may or may not have come from some extremely caffeinated beans.
Yeah. Ugla, anticipating a chemical or magical effect from them, did not want to pollute his body or whatever his mumbo jumbo is, and politely took it to go to.
Did now who has who has some coffee to wake themselves up?
I nudge Genra and be like, "What is this? It smells terrible. Not to be rude."
I mean, it tastes terrible, but let me tell you something. It will wake you up like you were just born, and you are bright and ready to take on the entire world.
I'm fairly well rested. I think I'm a pass.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm not going to drink yours. I can only take one dose of it, but
Oh, thank you for your hospitality and like us drink.
All right, good. Roll a Constitution save.
Okay.
yeah.
Early bird catches the slime.
Genra, you neglected to warn them about the first drink after effects. You've had this before, so your stomach's like, oh, this shit again.
Yeah.
But Lycus, your stomach's like, oh, I'm gonna shit again soon.
What is this coursing through my intestine?
Like, this is solid liquid magma. You're awake mostly because of the agony. Now, I mean, like, and like the pain is just searing for a good 10 minutes. And so the first jolt of wakefulness is just that raw pain. Afterwards, the pain will wear off. You'll be full attention awake. I'll give you a +1 to initiative for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
But every, 90 minutes or so, you're going to have to find a bathroom.
Yeah.
I mean, geese do poop all over the ground.
They do.
Okay. Might be something in that.
They're terrible, actually.
Indeed. So, You guys get up, you gather your gear. Two of you are extremely peppy. Rezik, you're the most tired since Ugla did catch like an extra hour while you were exploring the first time. But you are like you're still rested. It's just that you got like the bare minimum sleep. But you guys are up. You're a little sleepy, but otherwise you're fine. You head out before in those twilight hours before sun officially crests the horizon. Make a beeline for the nearby festival and head inside the arena.
Have the torch ready.
Are you marching with it out, held high?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. So aside from the bonfire lighting, most people aren't really up and about at pre-dawn, except for those who are planning to work the markets. So the market's in full swing, mostly, especially the cooks. They're making all those festival breakfast, first day kind of meals. So it smells delicious. If you want to stop for some, like hand carry kind of food, you definitely could swing by and grab something for a copper. It was delicious last year. It's still going to be delicious this year.
Yeah, if we have time.
You got time. It's something you can take with you. So, they'll give you a crepe or something.
Yeah, Ugla is going to go for tiny fried bread balls.
There you
We
go.
go for
Dusted lightly with sugar.
Yes.
Yes.
and go for a high protein crepe.
There you go.
Yeah.
What would there beans?
Yeah, beans. Largely
Yeah.
beans. In fact, the Humblewood has discovered the joys of peanut butter, and they use it liberally.
Mm.
What about hazelnut cream?
Well, they have hazelnuts and they have cream. They haven't really figured out the mixture yet. Maybe someone needs to invent that.
Ooh.
Lycus, the rumbling in your stomach finally abates by the time you reach the stalls, and you can tell that it's going to be followed by many further rumblings. Maybe you should put something starchy inside you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Where's something? A potato would be good.
You just get like a potato inside of some bread.
Yeah, no, I get a potato soup. It's just potato and hot water.
There you go. Potato soup. Get some butter in there. You feel good about it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You get it in a to-go cup, so you can more or less drink it. All right. So you make your way to the field. You head inside. You open up the side door that leads to like the wooden stairs that lead up to the bonfire, like placement, and climb those kind of sturdy rafters and wooden steps. Everything seems fine so far. Nothing out of the ordinary. There's nobody in the stadium because there's no real reason to be. You did see people prepping stuff into the side storage areas on the way in. You approach the bonfire chamber where the bonfire base is, where the lighting panel is, and open up the door, and it's a dark, empty room. Nothing out of the ordinary or untoward. You see the large bowl that the bonfire is kept in, and the panel that opens up to allow for the torch to do the lighting. From experience that the bonfires, like wood and oils, have been filled for the last several days, so it's certainly prepped and ready. What do you do?
Glance up at the sky.
It's a few minutes before the time.
I thought there'd be more people here.
Nope. Just you.
Strange. I duck my head out of the room, look around. Anybody?
You see a couple people outside of the arena. There's people milling about or prepping. Recalling back through your memory, no one really enters the arena until an event's about to start. So anyone who would be around or looking for the bonfire will be out in the surrounding festival grounds, and they're around.
I say that I'm going to, before we get to Shindig on the road, I want to get a good vantage point just to see if I can see anything.
So you
Good
head
idea.
outside of the room.
Yes.
Okay. So you head outside the room, climb the remaining steps, and sit out atop basically you're standing on the pedestal where people would have carried wood to fill the bonfire with.
Okay.
But it's the highest point in the area aside from the actual super tall trees, so you've got a decent view. The only real oddity here, not that you've ever been at the bonfire ceremony before as like the lighter, but you would have expected the mayor to be here.
Some official.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
looking around, like, are there any nearby workers I can?
If you want to yell, you could call out someone.
Do I notice any Altus volunteers?
If they were up this early, they'd be on the other side of the arena where the storage areas are, doing prep.
Oh, that's true. They've got to perform.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If I see anybody that looks like they're working, I'm gonna just yell out, "Excuse me, excuse me."
Oh, hey.
Hi.
Morning.
I'm Ugla. I'm here for the lighting of the bonfire ceremony. I've got the torch from last year.
Torch from last year. Who'd you say you were?
Ugla, the torch bearer.
Torchbearer.
Third place games last year.
Oh, I wasn't at the games last year. Sorry, man. But I was pretty sure that some kid was supposed to light the bonfire. They were gonna do it like just after sunrise.
I mean, it's almost sunrise. I don't see anyone around.
Well, yeah, it's not after sunrise. You know, like maybe they're gonna be here in like an hour. I don't know.
Interesting. Okay, I guess we'll look forward to seeing them. So a bit confused, he'll head back in and he's gonna look up, wait for the thinnest hint of daybreak to begin, and light the.
Okay.
Because the thought crosses his mind, maybe this new mayor has some other agenda. I know this is supposed to with this torch.
Okay.
Can't put that in jeopardy.
All right. So the moment.
And
Good.
in tradition for me, I need to look away as he's lighting it because it needs to be lit by the time I.
I see. That's what you get for fumbling rolls.
That's hilarious.
Yep.
All right. So right about the time you're going to light it, Lycus gets distracted with his bootlaces. But yeah, you're peeking out and looking around the corner, and there it is, that sliver of sun. You head over, you unlatch the bottom of the trapdoor on the stone basin there, and put your torch in. Now remember, this torch is not lit. There's no fire here.
Right, he's expecting some magical effect.
Now, similar to when you came earlier this morning, you have had that minor, like, heated side, and it is definitely pointing at the bonfire, so nothing's really changed about that. But yeah, you put it in, and as expected, it does in fact kindle. Not the torch. The torch actually stays unlit, but a fire starts in the basin.
He's going to see that happen and just go, huh.
You pull the torch out and let the stone fall, the trap fall, and put the latch back in place. And the torch begins to heat, similar to how it did last time when it burned you.
Is there like a ceremonial sconce nearby I can set it at?
There is.
Okay. Feeling it starting to get really hot, he's like, oh, I'm not going to let this shit happen again. Rushes over and puts it in there.
Okay. I need everyone in the room, so not Rezik, but I need the other three of you to make perception checks.
Yeah, non-natural one.
It's always Genra. Genra sees everything.
I'm glad we have someone
That-
perceptive in the group.
That perception score.
She's got that +6, but even in the prologue, you rolled like 15 plus every time you were trying to see something. You got it. Okay.
Geese eyes.
Yeah.
Got those hawk eyes.
Yes. The torch kind of sputters to life. There's a small kind of arcane blue flame slowly sputters into existence atop the torch. And as if walking in from another room, Pontus, the old Gallus mare, enters the scene. So we're gonna take a break. I'm gonna go to pee and get a drink. I'll see y'all in 5 minutes.
I'll save my reaction. Okay, for 11:35.
I'm sad. I thought that the torch was going to be outside, so that's why I went outside.
You can probably still see the bonfire light from outside.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh, okay, I got. So it's like you light it from an indoors kind of thing.
Yeah, and it probably just this huge cauldron that's supposed to burn for like a week or something like that, and you can see it from outside in the stands and everything. But the actual place you light it is probably like underneath. That's what I'm guessing from the description.
Okay, gotcha.
So once you see it get going, you can probably run down and be like, "It worked." I'll be right back.
We miss you too. Ha! I got them up and going.
Yeah.
They were being super lazy. Does she bark very much? Or is she super quiet?
So far, she has never barked, so I don't know.
Okay.
I get the feeling that her original owners definitely did an amount of training, and I also get the feeling it was not exactly positive reinforcement based.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, when we walk, she's stuck to my side and usually right behind one, like at my heel.
Yep.
So it seems like she's been trained to walk. And in the house and near other dogs, she will barely make a peep. The most I've heard is like a soft whimper.
Okay. It took us a long time to get my wife's dog to make any noise. It
Yeah.
took like having my dog barking for a good bit to actually get her to do anything. Now it's basically he makes any kind of noise, she'll follow along. So
Gotcha.
stop. Don't lick the bottle.
But the bottle.
She's literally giving me that look. But the bottle. She's like, but the bottle.
But I could lick it.
And she is very kissy, like very tongue oriented. I'm not a fan of that.
Mm-hmm.
You pet her, I'm gonna lick your arm. Just
Mm-hmm.
so.
Okay.
Your dog is definitely making that bed.
Oh yeah, he's a nester, hardcore.
Yep. I woke him up.
That's adorable.
And as everyone knows, if you've been woken up, you have to remake your bed before you can go back to sleep.
That's true. Your pillow's not comfortable anymore once you've woken up.
My male's kind of the same way for the most. He's not quite as bad, but he'll definitely like flip up his bed and be like, "Yep," and then spin 25 times.
Of course. Of course.
Got to get it perfect.
Gotta get the middle perfectly mat it down after he just spent all that time fluffing it up.
Yes, got to get through all that tall grass. I wonder if that's legit or if that's just like ridiculous anthropology. Or if it's even observable in the wild. Like, do dogs that
wolves
live
nest?
in grasslands tear down a portion of grass to sleep?
I don't know.
I'd say most animals bed down similarly, at least four-legged animals, I would say.
Do cats do that?
Depends on the cat. I would say lions probably do, considering they really don't climb much.
Just trying to picture it scraping at the grounds and spinning in a circle and going to sleep.
That'd be
This is a massive murder machine,
yeah.
acting like a little puppy.
Well, the real question is do wolves do it? And I mean I know coyotes do it, but I don't know about wolves
Yeah.
or larger breed dogs or I guess canines.
Maybe. I've seen a German Shepherd do it. In fact, we might have seen a German Shepherd do it live earlier if we were paying attention.
Nah, I've never seen her do that. She just kind of flops over.
Now, on couches, my male flops, my female does the little circle, then lays
Yeah.
down. But it's the opposite when they're on the ground. If he's on the ground, he'll. And
Mhm.
then she'll just. Huh?
Yeah, there we go. Walking around in a tight circle a few times would mat down tall grass to sleep on, also disturb and kick up any bugs or snakes that might be lying in a dog's chosen spot. See, I mean, that's what I'd heard before, but it sounds like one of those things where somebody's just like, yes, that's why they do it. Without, I mean, like, would you
Without it.
really know?
Without observing a massive amount of wild dogs and grasslands.
Why do dogs turn around before lying down? Dogs, unlike humans, don't just plop down in bed when they're tired. They spend lots of time preparing their bed before snuggling in for the night. Sleepy dogs turn around in circles and do a kind of ceremonial dance before going to sleep. Who's to say we
Nesting.
don't do that?
That's what I call it. Nesting.
Nesting for sure.
You gotta have like the right barrier,
All right.
and then they have their back up against.
You gotta put your. Gotta have the right angles, the right softness.
Right.
All right. Are we all back? James, you here?
I am here.
All right. So,
He says, looking over his glasses and above his newspaper.
indeed, I am here.
I am here.
All right.
I will speak in the most pedantic way possible.
Actually, I am present.
I love that little cat.
That's pretty good.
All right. So, you need your checks. Pontus, the old Gallus, walks in. So the blue flames, blah blah blah. He walks into the room. Now he's like largely ghostly here. He's definitely magic, not like he's actually present. It's very obvious he's not truly here.
Okay.
Anyways, Pontus form enters the room before you, standing in front of the base of the festival bonfire. The old Gallus mare looks weathered, harried, tired. He's holding an illusory version of the torch as well, and appears to be weaving a bit of magic around it, probably to capture this very event inside. He opens his beak to speak, and the sound projects from the torch rather than from his actual ghostly figure. My young friend, I hope you've returned safely. I hope the year hasn't seen you enduring any further hardships than the horrible nights you surely had when your beloved homes burnt to the ground. I am so very sorry for the losses you have endured. I cannot begin to imagine how it must feel for those of you who lost loved ones. My deepest condolences. I know you've only had a year to grieve, but I'm afraid I must task you further. Perhaps, in the wake of the disaster, you've done some investigation of your own, or perhaps not. But the corruption is well hidden, so I'm hoping to lend you aid where possible. Something is wrong with the tenders of the Scorched Grove. They started the fire, that much I know for sure. I have a bad feeling the Predator is involved as well, but I could never figure out how. I've sent a coded message to an old friend. Surely it has arrived by now. I would suggest you make your way to the town of Ashbarrow. It's about the size of Winnowing Reach, but more dangerous. A dear friend from my own adventuring days lives there. Her name is Lily, and if the sun is out, she's probably working the ash crop fields. Terror with a bow, and quiet as a mouse, that one. And yet she spends most of her days working the land before turning into her humble home. Find Lily, and ask her to help you out in discovering the rot within the circle of druids. The old Gallus fades, the arcane light in the torch goes out, and once again, it's cold.
Taking notes this time.
I was going to say, I hope you all got all that because I was not present for it.
Did we? don't.
Oh yeah,
Is that real?
some more magic from the torch apparently. Look over. Is the bonfire still lit?
It is.
Did I see anything outside?
Nothing.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. I just wanted to double check and see if I saw anything.
I think we should get out of here before the imposter mayor and everybody else shows up and get going to Ashboro. Although I
think
am
that's wise.
super confused, him talking about his grieving and all, but hopefully his friend Lily will have some answers for it.
Listen, I might be a little bit dumbfounded in what I'm about to say, but I'm just going to say it. There has been something weird that's happened, and this time I definitely know what it was. Did you happen to see that person within him? There was another person distinctly fading away with him. Like they were inside of him, like they were those little dolls that you put together, and there's another doll inside of it, smaller than the first one.
Inside Pontus?
Yes.
No, I just saw ghosty Pontus.
I was
Can I
afraid
turn
that
around
might be
now?
the case.
Oh, Did you hear all
sorry.
that?
Yeah, you
Oh,
saw
I
it.
heard everything. Can
No,
I
like-
turn
no,
around
no,
now?
like
though?
you saw it. Like it's the bonfire
Okay.
was lit before the scene started.
Okay, just checking. Thank you.
You just missed the haha.
Hmm.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. I really do have a problem with this whole thing.
what kind of figure did you see within the Pontus ghost?
I couldn't really make out who it was, but I know there was somebody else there.
So if
Now-
it's somebody impersonating Pontus, then that still doesn't explain where Pontus went.
I mean, I'm in agreement with you on that one, but I
Or
do feel
where
like he's
Banton went,
competent.
or where Grigri, or where...
Perhaps these are all pawns that they're using on us alone. For some reason, I don't know what it is, but I do know that it's strange that these things keep happening to us. And I recall that whole thing when he was speaking the first time, and he sounded different at some point, and I think this is connected to that. I think we might be dealing with two beings here. One that we think is our friend Pontus, who used to be the mayor, or so we believed, and the other is somebody that is using him to get to us to communicate. I don't know what they want from us, but they clearly want us to go visit this Lily. She sounds like a righteous person. I don't know why she would want to deceive us, what she knows about us, but something is definitely afoot. But to be fair,
I mean,
those tended druids were doing something mysterious that one time when I walked past. So
Right before we left?
yes, I'm merely saying that we should be cautious. Don't trust everything that we've just been told.
But what if this... I mean, yeah, okay. So it's like we have our common history.
Right?
Right.
We all
But
have
then
the same memories.
We have a contradictory present. What if all of this is just some giant, incredible illusion?
I mean,
How could we figure it out?
I don't know. I think we've been given no choice other than to follow what we've been given and see where it leads.
Oh, absolutely. I think the only question now is, do we go try to talk to the new mayor, see if he knows anything?
I fear that if we expose our experiences, that he could send us into some sort of
Yeah, if he's in
Isolation.
cahoots with whatever's going on, that's true.
I don't know. I have no idea. It seems that he is just an upright citizen as the rest of these people in this town, and you know, I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, I've always just go grab Rezik and get the hell out of here. There's
I think we're all overthinking this. But
Really?
let's grab
What do you
Resic and
think?
get out of town while we can.
what do you
Okay.
think the solution is then, Lycus?
Oh, I don't have one, but like we're it really sounds like y'all are over.
Here's what I think. I don't know why the hell they had to wait until a year later to tell us this. Whoever they are, I'm annoyed with the fact that they had to wait this entire time and they could have just done that from the get-go. Why did a year have to go by for this whole thing to take place? I mean, if this was some sort of serious threat, wouldn't we want to take care of it right away? Why did we have to
Wait.
wait?
Whoa,
Well,
something else doesn't add up. He said to come back a year later
Right.
and to light this again. But if the town had burned down or most of the buildings or something, then I mean, would there even be anything to come back to a year later?
I
Seems strange.
know. I'm telling you, 6 months ago when I arrived, everything was just as we had left it.
Look, let me. I'm gonna put the simplest answer out there, which is, to me, maybe he found out somebody else had plans. He found out that those plans rough. Maybe he found out about those plans too late, and so the best way to try to fix things was to let those plans happen and then deal with them after.
Or
Maybe that's what this is all about. And
perhaps
if you let time go by, people don't pay as much attention. Don't ask me why. Anyway, moving on.
He wanted us to lay low for a year.
Uh-huh.
It's clever.
see, that's maybe he thought it was going to happen a certain way. And he needed to persuade us, so he did some sort of illusion, and we saw something that didn't actually happen, but he was so convinced that it ended up taking him with it, whatever it was, and it actually didn't happen the way he assumed it would.
Oh wait. Before we go, I want to test something real quick. Gonna go over and check the ceremonial torch, see if it's really hot.
Cold.
Gonna take it out. Do you want me to take you with me or leave you here? Nothing happens?
No.
All right. Put it back in there. Walk.
Okay.
Breaks it in half, walks away.
Oh, what, Genra? I should break it in half? I mean, it does seem
I didn't
magical.
say anything like that.
No, I think it's supposed to be in that spot. I'll leave it be. I don't need another loose end dogging with me. Let's go get Rezik and head on over to Ashborough.
You know, actually, as we're walking away, I do think I need to say one more thing. It's been bothering me this entire time.
You're a slime.
No, I am not a slime. I'm so sorry to break that to you.
Oh, I mean, it would have been a sweet twist. I don't know.
Don't you think it's suspect that the thing that is supposed to be doing us harm has been fire? And that's the only way it's communicating with us thus far, is
Is
fire.
it fire holder?
Yes.
Maybe it's like symbolism, like, you know, it can contain, it's the one thing that can contain the fire. It's a special torch.
I don't think that's the case. All right.
Well,
I will
I'm
tread
leaving it
lightly.
there. I think it goes there.
I will be cautious. I think we should all just keep our eyes.
Oh,
and
your
ears
mom
open.
said you can't go.
Well, she can deal with it. I'm doing what I want because I am an adult.
Actually, I have to take you back to your.
Actually, you have to do nothing of that sort because you're not in charge of me either.
She told me I'm not allowed to take you away again. So I gotta take you back to your mom's
Do
house.
not
And you gotta
test
tell
me,
her that it's not me
Mister.
taking you away. You're choosing to go.
I will send her a note telling her that I've gone off on a quest and that is what an adult would do.
And that it was not Ugla that took you out of the town.
I will not mention your name. It's not
You have
that
to tell her I
important.
didn't take you anywhere.
Swear to
I
God.
gave her my word. I told her I was going to help you stay here forever with her.
Literally
And
the
now it looks like
most
you're leaving like
irritating
the
part
next
of this
morning. No,
Were
we
they
gotta
out
make
of
it-
there? Like, were you guys out of there?
No,
We're
I
trying.
assume
Did
this
you
is
guys
still
leave the
inside that room.
We're trying to
Because
get
Yeah,
he had
we're
to go
so
back for the
close to
torch.
door. Yeah. Okay, we're outside of it. We've moved. We've walked away.
Okay, we have to either go talk to your mom or you have to promise to write a letter
I will
saying I
write
did not
her
make you
a
leave.
letter.
You
What
promise
are
you'll
we
say
doing?
that?
Are we,
I will mention your name.
What do you mean just mention it? Don't blame it on me. I can't carry that.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'll go talk to her. I'm gonna go talk to her. I'll make it okay. So I'm gonna walk out of there, walk up to Rezik and be like, Rezik, I gotta go say bye to Genra's mom, and then we'll head out. We got new marching orders from the Torch, going to Ash Barrow.
I
Did
will
she-
fill you in, Resident.
Oh,
that
did we take the torch or not?
No.
No,
we
he
left.
No,
Okay.
I think
I'm
it's
gonna
supposed
take the
to stay
torch
there.
with us as we.
Okay.
I put it in my bag of holding.
Okay.
I'll assume you were saying. Wait, did you say anything out loud about are we taking the torch?
Probably it was just like, are you not taking it?
Yeah. No. I think it's supposed to go there, and then I'll walk away.
Yoink.
And then head on over to Genra's house.
while we're walking over there, like, are you really gonna take the fall for this one? The woman scares me.
Oh, no. I mean, I vowed I would not take her daughter away again. So she needs to know that it is my intention for Genra to stay.
Genra gets ahead of them, and then they arrive at my house, and I swing open the door, and I'm like, Mother! You listen here. I am going off on a quest
Hold on.
that happens to be.
Hold on. You walk in, full on righteous indignation. Aunt Margaret's sitting over there. She looks up, and looks back down. And your mother walks out of the kitchen. She's got a large backpack in her hands, and walks up. And you're gonna need this. You're gonna need some more of these. And don't forget this. It gets cold. I'm sure you'll need more food.
Mother, how did you know?
Genra, my mother always knows.
Oh my goodness, this is something beyond magic. Dark magic, if anything. Anyway, she grabs all the supplies
Okay.
and then turns around and walks out the door.
Ugla peeks in and catches the end of that. This was not me. I told her to stay.
This is all you, lady.
Sir, please look out for yourself.
For myself? Wait, what was that? Please look out for what?
Yourself.
Myself.
Yourself.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. Every day. Altus protects me.
Altish!
Oh,
Great.
realizing he's triggered a recall, slips out the door and closes it.
Okay. Do you guys gather up your nonsense and strike out?
Do
Let's get going to
Do you guys
Ashboro.
tell me about
by
anything
Thursday.
that went on there?
Get us
Yeah.
Because I am
Ginra told you about it on the way over.
okay. All right then.
So, if you're looking at the world map, you were instructed to go to Ash Barrow, which is the southern end of the Scorched Grove, past Meadowfen and then northwest. So you'll head back out the western road just like last time. Stop in at Meadowfen for a night after the 2-day journey, and then you'll make the probably 1.5 day trip out to Ash Barrow across that plains area.
Okay.
You make your trip to Meadowfen on no major issues. It rains, you get wet.
Anything special about the rain?
Roll a D100. It's extra wet.
Ooh, wow. Ugla notices how wet the rain is.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Indeed. You arrive at Meadowfen. You check in on the temporarily closed forge, Lycus. The proprietor asks you if you're planning on coming back, Lycus.
I'll be back. I'm gonna go travel a little bit because it seems like many of the bigger jobs, for the most part, done.
Can we use the forge?
As long as you don't burn it down.
We won't burn it down.
Oh, good, good.
Sounds like he's gonna burn it down.
I do need to take my tools with me though, just in case.
Sure.
So,
Sure.
but the anvil, the forge, the arc furnace in there, everything else is fine with you.
Well, safe travels. And,
Thank you.
Look out for, I don't know, fire in the Scorched Grove.
Oh, I'm sure I'll be fine.
Okay.
But I appreciate your concern. Thank you.
You sleep out the night. You head off in the morning, striking out northwest towards Ash Barrow. Ash Barrow sits at the southern tip of the Scorched Grove. For those of you who didn't do any reading about the setting and don't know what Scorched Grove is, the Scorched Grove was once part of the Great Wood. It was a large section of forest in the northwestern quadrant of the region. Then, at some point in history, a great inferno started. It encompassed a huge section of land and destroyed many of the great tall trees in that area. And when members of the Perch Guard and humble folk and bird folk alike went to fight the fires, they found it wasn't just flames, but there were creatures, corrupted creatures who had their their souls or their essences scorched by the fire itself. Walking treants who burned as they fought. Elemental creatures that none had ever seen before, beings made of fire and ash that emerged from the grove to kill and maim and burn all in their path. Once it was finally quenched, the Scorched Grove now is a kind of a wasteland of forever dead trees and unending ash piles. The ash itself actually is blows out of the Scorched Grove, and usually to the south, which is why Ash Barrow exists. As we know, actual forest ash is nutrient dense, and so the ash creates an incredibly fertile region just to the south, and that's what Ash Barrow was built up around. The Ash Barrow is incredibly fertile, and therefore profitable, but also quite dangerous. They stand as the southern guard to the Scorched Grove, as those fire-corrupted critters still make their way out every once in a while. It is also loosely known that on the northwestern side, unmarked on the major maps, the circle of tenders of the Scorched Grove make their home. So somewhere in this area.
It's way further than I expected.
Indeed.
So the tenders who are supposed to be regrowing the Scorched
Well,
Grove?
yeah, those are the tenders who are supposed to be working to to bring life back to the Scorched Grove, and they also serve as defense for essentially the entire western side of the grove against the flame critters. Okay, so you travel for a day and a half, and just after lunchtime on that second day, you spot the medium hills of Ash that kind of surround Ash Barrow, and you're nearly there. You take another maybe hour and make your way through those hillsides and spot a city that's essentially the same size as Winnowing Reach, except this one has stone walls instead of wood because they would be burned down. And the trees inside are not nearly as tall. There is a guard placed on the exterior wall, on both the top and at the gate. Largely, it appears to be manned by humble folk. You don't spot any perch guard in the area. You approach the gates and pull up on that on the trail that kind of leads this way. Several Malpak and a single servant call out to stop you on your path. Oh, what brings you to Ash Barrow?
Oh, we're looking for a friend of ours named Willow.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that I know any Willows at the city, but it's not as though I know everyone, I suppose. Where do you come from?
Oh, we're from Winnowing Reach. She's actually a friend of a friend, believe it or not.
Oh,
Evidently, she's really good with a bow.
bow. I do know one older bow master, but her name's not Willow.
Is her name Pontus?
No.
He makes a weird joke. No one laughs.
Genra leans over and says, I think her name was Lily.
Think her name was what?
Lily is her
Lily.
name.
Oh, not Willow. Lily. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
Yes, that is her. I thought that's
I even
you wrote
even
down
wrote
Willow.
down Lily in my
Oh, no.
notes.
Oh, you wrote Lily.
Was
She
that the
goes
type of
by
wood that
Lily.
they were
Her
burning
full
in
name is
there?
Willow.
We don't even know.
Even when I write it down, I still get the name wrong. Damn,
See,
man.
why the telephone game doesn't work.
Yep.
Or my brain
Or your brain.
doesn't work.
One of those. Yes. Lily. Yes. She mans the field. She oversees the ash crop fields. You'll find her on the north side. Sunlight hours now. You don't even need to come inside. If you'd like to see her, I'd say go around.
Wow, thank you. It was very forthcoming. Usually people are super rude about information. I really appreciate
Oh, that's weird.
it. Yeah, strange times. Thank you.
I think we'll just go straight on through, though. I kind of want to check out the market here.
Oh, well, if you want inside, we have to catalog your entry. You'll have to take down your names and your purpose for visiting.
Think I'm going
I'm going to roll
around. I really just
perception
want to
to
meet
see if they're
Lily.
lying or not.
Insight is for lies.
Yeah, insight, that one.
He's definitely lying. Not out of malice. He's trying to make a joke. He holds his straight face for a while, and you're like squinty eyes, and he's like, gotcha. Yeah, come in. We don't care.
Wow. Well,
My Discord
I
is
guess
not
we go
having it
in.
again.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say, you guys can go around if you please, but I plan on just browsing through, not stopping in for
Okay.
more than a moment.
Grab.
Unless you guys want to go in with me.
Is there a way out to the fields through town, or do we have to come back through this way?
Oh yeah, there's a gate on the other side.
Okay, we'll walk through town. Maybe take 15 minutes to look for what you're looking for, and we can get on.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, you head inside the town. Similar to Winnowing Reach, this is like a medium-sized town, not quite city. Probably hosts a population of several hundred. There is a reasonable-sized market and several residential kind of tree, like low-lying trees and housing areas. There's a lot more guards on the north side of town, like way more. It's like 10 times as big. Like you guys saw 4, there's like 40 on the north side of town.
As we walk in, I come clean and I tell him I didn't really like that guy's attitude of him thinking that we should be coming into his city, especially with him being him. So I don't really want to check out the market. I just wanted to go through the city.
Oh, did you know him?
Nope.
Okay.
I felt like you thought he was better than us. We're equals to us.
Yeah. Guards, authority figures, they can, they can be very high and mighty. That's true.
Is there anything in the town that's
Is that a problem?
particularly unusual?
Not at first glance, especially if you're just passing through.
All right. There's the western gate. Let's go get Lily.
Okay. You head out the northern gate and pass through the heavy cordon of guards. Right.
He said he totally said the fields were west of the town. Come on.
I said they're on the other side of town.
Oh.
You came from the south.
Yes, the northern gates, of
Yes.
course.
Poor Dad.
Did I say Willow again too?
No.
I
Okay.
just had to throw it in there.
Okay.
So you head through the northern gate and the huge cordon of guards. There's, like I said, there's a solid 40 guards, and they like many of them turn around to look you over. One of them does stop each of you and just kind of like look you up and down. Gotta check for fire corruption. You know the drill, I'm sure. Not that he actually knows who you are or what the fuck you're doing. But he's definitely giving you a real solid once over, making sure you're not fire corrupted, whatever that means.
Hearing that, Ugly says, yeah, just a minute. I have to use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Okay.
And he'll try and like somehow signal to the rest of the group to not go through that gate.
Okay. Not go through the gate?
Yeah. You need to turn around and walk away and hope that they follow him.
Do you follow him?
Yes.
Okay.
So as soon as we get
confused.
Genra, do you go through the gate or not?
I can see on the other side of the gate, right?
Yep.
And it looks fine.
It's like looks like an enormous like series of crop fields.
Man, now I distrust this whole situation. But I otherwise would have never distrusted. Oh God. I guess Gamera sees Resic kind of turn away. And what about you, Lycus? Are you leaving?
Lycus looks around and is kind of like, seems kind of confused by the whole endeavor.
We're
and
just
is,
kind of confused. I feel like we're just standing there confused.
yeah, he looks mostly confused.
Yago's just gonna turn down like the next alleyway that he sees that isn't just full of people, and hope that and wait on the group to catch up with Rezik close by.
So, is everyone going or not?
General looks at like
It's a
"Well, I
decent
guess
bit
we
away.
should Go to the bathroom too. It seems like he wanted us
Hey,
to.
I'm.
What have we got to lose? We can just.
All right, 1 second. I'm gonna roll insight. All right, I need to go to the bathroom too.
You might actually need to go to the bathroom to be
That-
fair.
Yeah,
Well,
true.
it's been a
I
couple
was
of
just
days.
thinking
It's
that.
been a few days.
Yeah, he's okay.
Oh, that's true.
It's worked through the system at this point.
Yeah.
But okay, fine. I got to go to the bathroom too.
All right, so
Let me take care of it before we get held up somewhere else, and I have to tell somebody I have to go take a leak somewhere.
Fair
so
enough.
all of you dip out of line and walk a few hundred feet about, back into town.
All right, so I have them secluded in this little alleyway.
Sure.
Guys, I'm pretty sure that this fire corruption they're talking about is what's on my hand. Just a wild idea. So maybe we go out the other gate and go around?
You're fire corrupted?
I mean, I got burnt really bad and it didn't go away. Like, kind of seems like it. And I have weird nightmares.
You
I
actually
mean,
might
I've
be
never
onto
heard the
something.
term before in my life, but they said they're checking everybody's body for that. I mean, kind of lines up, and I'm kind of afraid to even risk this being what they're looking for because they might have some like special fire corrupted prison or something. And is anybody wearing gloves I can borrow?
But why? Well, I guess he doesn't.
None that would fit your talons.
I'm sure they'd have you take it off either way. Could
Well, I
we
That's
should've-
true.
paint it? Perhaps. I mean, obviously we could just go around. Let's just
maybe-
do that.
Maybe just rub some dirt on it.
Yeah, just turn
Mm,
yourself
dirty
into
hands. Good
a-
idea.
Yeah.
He'll reach down and just like rub his hands in the dirt.
I mean, it could have also just be there from like frostbite or something.
Exactly. Are you sure it's not?
Maybe.
Your skin is perhaps.
Well, seeing as I got you guys in this predicament with my attitude.
I mean, I'm just being
What-
cautious. It's
what-
not too
what-
much of a jaunt.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
Do we want to
Kind of
walk
drew
back?
more attention to yourself by saying I got to duck out.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's
well-
just walk back out. I'm sure it will be fine. We can just say that we've decided that we'd like to get around. And,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. We explored the town.
we don't.
Now
like
we want to take a
lines.
scenic route, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So you went around.
I don't know.
Yeah. We went around.
Okay. So you head back out the southern gate. They heckle you a little bit, like, "Did you get lost?"
Town was cool. Just wanted to get a little fresh air.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just wanted to see the market, dude. I don't know what your problem is.
Right, but didn't you plan to go to the fields out the north side?
Yeah, we decided to take a more scenic route. There seemed to be a line
Yeah, that
I
was a
just
long
don't
line,
really
and it's a
care
beautiful
for
day.
standing around like that. So.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Thank you.
They let you out, and you walk around the left side. And after a little while, you find yourselves at the edge of the Ashbarrow Fields, Ash Crop Fields. Since it's the daylight hours, there's a bunch of people out here. Maybe several dozen are working the soil, either planting or harvesting or doing crop things. Standing around a little bit, kind of taking it in. Eventually, you do spot a figure who appears to be walking like from field to field and shouting out orders, and every now and then stopping to do some work themselves. What do you do?
Hey, over there, you. Excuse us. We actually was looking for somebody with the name of Lily.
I like how that
Just
got a lot
one
more
you-
polite over time. Hey, over there, you! Excuse us.
Had to get their
Well, we're
attention.
terribly sorry for bothering you.
Yes. Lily? Is there a Lily around here?
Yes, Lily is a very tall, very lithe-looking servant.
Nice.
She's carries an enormous yew bow on her back, as well as like two packs, like two large backpacks worth of like farming tools. She definitely looks very strong, and she, similar to the huge guy back at Meadowfen, she's very tall. She looks down at the somewhat rude raptor. And, yes, I'm Lily.
Oh, goodness.
Well.
I apologize for how impolite we were just then. Lily, do you happen to know a Pontus?
Of course, Pontus and I go way back.
Oh my god. Finally, somebody else in this universe knows who Pontus is.
Well,
We've been sent here by him. Or so we think.
can you speak to us away from other people about that? Possibly.
Well, I'm in the middle of my work at the moment. I can talk to you later.
Can we meet you for a cup of ale over at the?
Oh, I don't drink.
Oh.
But if you'd like
Okay.
to share a meal, I don't mind.
That sounds wonderful.
When was the last time you spoke with Pontus?
Oh, spoke to Pontus quite some years ago. Perhaps 15 years?
Have you received any messages from him recently in the past year?
You're this group of friends of Pontus. Yes, I did receive a message from Pontus just recently.
Oh,
How recently?
A few months back.
Did he say where he's living?
He said many things. I think I'll take you up on that dinner offer.
All right.
See you then.
Okay.
When and where do you want to do it? At your place, our place?
Tonight at the inn, we'll figure.
The inn seems pretty not secluded enough.
It's fine. We can eat at my home. It will be a little cramped, but
All right.
simple is fine. Simple is good.
Lily, will this be a problem? And I show her my weird hand.
Your hand, is it special in some way?
It's got that like weird dark spot on it that won't go away
Oh,
after I got burnt.
I believe those are called birthmarks, Mr. Strigg.
That's not fire corruption?
oh my god.
No, fire corruption is quite visible and painful looking.
Oh. What does it look like?
Oh, it's like your veins are made of flame.
Oh. Wow. Yeah, I mean it was really painful, but I don't know about like flame vein painful. Okay, cool. So nobody have a problem with this? This is just a normal thing. It's just a birthmark.
I don't know what that is. I'm sorry.
Pontus's magic torch burned it into my hand.
Pontus's magic torch.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry that happened, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was really weird. I'll tell you all about it.
Okay. It seems like the conversation's over, so she starts to walk away and get back to work.
Well, big gulps. We'll see you tonight.
Okay. her house, or her like small humble home, is here outside of the city. It's here on the north side. She pointed it out when she was mentioning it. There is in fact a medium-sized hut over there. So you've got a few hours to kill between now and then. But this seems like a good place to stop for today.
Yeah.
So, we'll pick up next time, 2 days from now, on our little game here. For those of you out there in the audience, we appreciate you sticking around and watching and such. Players, you're lovely as always. I'll see you in 2 days.
Thank you for having us.
See ya.
Bye.
All right. See y'all later.
You don't need a killer, dragon for